We're going to start with some breaking news right now. Attorney General William Barr is out. President Donald Trump just tweeted a resignation letter from Barr saying the Attorney General will leave the post right before Christmas. Trump says Deputy Attorney General Jeff Rosen will take over as acting Attorney General. Now, this announcement comes amid reports that broke just earlier today that Trump urged Bill Barr to investigate Joe Biden's son, Hunter. And the part of that story that is maybe not surprising, maybe surprising to Donald Trump, as we found out today, Barr actually worked to keep that investigation from becoming public. And for the record, it seems like he was just following DOJ guidelines that basically say attorneys should refrain from announcing investigations that may affect elections. Of course, we wish that happened last time around with her emails.
Yeah, exactly.
But of course, that's part of the Department of Justice. Yeah. But still, interesting news all happening today. And the question a lot of people have online is, did he resign?
Well, here's what's interesting, Brooke, is right now, Trump tweeted this. Just had a nice meeting with Attorney General Bill Barr at the White House. Our relationship has been a very good one. He has done an outstanding job. As per his letter, Bill will be leaving just before Christmas to spend the holidays with his family, which is a very far cry away from what Trump was saying about Barr just literally a couple of weeks ago, like a month ago. Yeah, I mean, he was criticizing him for the investigations that he opened into Michael Flynn and also the FBI's Russia probe. And he said, and I quote, Bill Barr will either go down in history as the greatest attorney general in the history of the country, or he'll go down as a very sad situation.
Well, I was reading also that Bill Barr, he's been teasing that he was going to leave for a couple of weeks, but also that Trump was going to potentially fire him because the DOJ investigated the election and found that there was no voter fraud, and that Trump was upset about that. So I think it's probably a few reasons why he's leaving. Only Trump knows why, you know.
I think he has. He has something on him that we don't know about. Well, actually, he has a lot on him. We know that. But for them to have this kind of breakup is just so weird, because I figured it would have went down with Trump saying you're fired like he always likes doing. But then again, this guy is trying to get off the ship before it totally sinks, because now we know after today it's really a done deal, hopefully. But we'll talk about that right now, of course.
The ship has sank.
Yes.
I like how you said it's a breakup. It's definitely, it feels like a breakup, you know?
Yeah, but they're acting like it's amicable. So it's real. We'll eventually hear what the truth is.
That's true. All right, let's get to your headlines for today. The Electoral College has affirmed President-elect Joe Biden's election win. Members of the Electoral College voted today, and look out for Joe Biden himself to speak soon. He says he will call on the nation to turn the page from divisive election fights in a national address tonight. This all comes as President Trump continues his unprecedented effort to overturn the election results. In Biden's speech, we're told he will praise the institutions for holding up despite enormous pressure from Trump and his allies to disrupt the system. Reporters for The Hill got a hold of speech excerpts, and we're told the president-elect will say, "In this battle for the soul of America, democracy prevailed. We, the people, voted, faith in our institutions held, the integrity of our elections remains intact, and so now it's time to turn the page, to unite, to heal." That's a little sample of the speech. Electors from all over the country also met today to formally cast their Electoral College ballots for Vice President-elect Kamala Harris. Biden will finish with 306 votes compared to 232 for Trump. Congress will meet on January 6th to certify Biden as the winner of the Electoral College. Because of we talked about this a little before the show. Because of COVID, everything is digital. We're seeing everything. And also because of what Donald Trump is doing, specifically when it comes to this election. You know, these are all sort of redundant formalities that happened every single election. But things feel different this year because you have the sitting president of the United States refusing to acknowledge that he lost. And so everyone is paying super close attention to all of these typical formalities because they're worried about, you know, how their president is going to disrupt the system. But what that also has is a lot of Democrats excited because it's another public announcement that Joe Biden won.
And the question is, has he ran out of ways to fight this? Are we
done? They are still filing lawsuits today.
See, but each lawsuit keeps getting thrown out. I mean, the Supreme Court basically said we're not going to listen to this anymore. Like it's over, and the Electoral College finally calling it. California's 55 votes is what put them over the threshold, Biden and Harris. But this is all. There's no more. Like it's a done deal.
Well, January 6th actually is when it ends, because that's when Congress has to officially affirm it. And again, people are, I mean, it's a long shot, but January 6th is the official end, and that's when
that's our last
the president of the Senate, who, you know, happens to be Mike Pence.
Yeah.
That's when he gets to once again announce that.
By the way, where is he?
Right.
Has anybody seen Mike Pence?
Not really, not
in
much.
the
He's
last
been
couple
quiet.
of weeks.
Since
He
an
has
announcement
been-
that 5 people around him got coronavirus. Remember that? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, he has been incognito like Casper the Friendly Ghost.
He's
Like, I don't know
helping Trump's
where he
wife
is.
pack. That's what's really going on.
No,
That's
he's
what's
not, because
really
he
going
said
on.
he's not in the room alone with other women.
Oh, is that
His
what he's
wife
saying?
is not like that.
Okay, and I will say this today. I didn't know a lot about, they would always show this on TV. You said about the electoral votes, the way they did today. Stacey Abrams, seeing her do it today was so special. I really enjoyed that moment. I saw the Clintons do that today, too. So, all right, we'll see if it's official January 6th. The first of many freezer-packed COVID-19 vaccine vials made their way to distribution sites across the United States on Sunday as the nation's pandemic deaths approached a horrifying new milestone of 300,000. The rollout of the Pfizer vaccine, the first to be approved by the Food and Drug Administration, ushers in the biggest vaccination effort in U.S. history, one that health officials hope the American public will embrace, even as some have voiced initial skepticism or worry. Now, shots were given to healthcare workers and nursing home residents beginning today. I was watching some of that on TV, and the first thing I saw was the wonderful black woman who was at a hospital. I think it's Sandra Lindsay from Long Island, was one of the first nurses, and I think she got her shot from a black woman, I believe.
Yes.
So, I mean, seeing that, is that the face to get us motivated to want to take the vaccine?
Yeah.
We actually have a little video of that. If you all want to take a look, we have video of the very first American being vaccinated here it was in New York. We're here in California. Which this happened in New York, and we have a little video of it.
So, Sandra, you didn't flinch. I take it that Dr. Chester has a good touch.
She has a good touch, and it didn't feel any different from taking any other vaccine.
So how does this make you guys feel? Does it give you
Cringe.
comfort seeing this right here?
I thought that was powerful. The first woman being protected against being vaccinated against this deadly virus that is killing our people at a disproportionate rate was a black woman. The healthcare worker that gave her shot was a black woman. I thought it was just powerful to see because this is a big moment in American history.
Yeah,
The
it
video
really
was
is.
cringe. It was.
Why was it cringe, Demi?
was just so. You know, I'm having a hard time articulating my thoughts. Like, I'm so glad the camera didn't cut to me during this video because I was literally just sitting there the whole time like, I don't know what it is, guys. You know what? I need a couple seconds to gather my thoughts, but something about the video, just praising and clapping about this, it just was cringe. I don't know.
This is a good thing. People are dying. And even to think about it, most Americans, I saw doctors talking today, healthcare experts saying that most Americans aren't even going to be able to get this until around May.
Yeah.
They hope if everything goes well, then every American will be able to start getting it come May. So that's best case scenario. But what that says, there are people that are going to die from this between now and May. And all of those are people that could have been vaccinated had they just not, and it's not, I'm not saying, I don't want it to sound like I'm saying this is their fault, but it's just sad. There are families that are going to be without their loved ones because we haven't gotten to May yet.
Yeah.
I mean,
That's just strong for me.
Yeah, I mean, that I totally understand. And like I told you guys the other day, I think we are getting me and I don't know if I like to put myself under the bus with Romeo, so I'm not like by myself.
You're not by
Romeo,
yourself, trust
I
me.
think every
He's okay
day
with
me
it.
and Romeo just inch a little bit closer, of course, to being a little bit more comfortable with the vaccine. But the video of it, just this goes back to what I was saying about Barack Obama and Bill Clinton getting the vaccine for the video. Let's show the video. My thing is like, let's just get it. If we're going to have the vaccines, let's get them in the CVS, get them in the Walgreens, get them to us and let us get them. It's the video aspect.
Maybe that's a
for me
sense
is
of
just making
urgency.
it cringe for some reason. Like, the clapping was just kind of like, let's just get the vaccine, save the people.
This is just a version of like IG, Instagram.
You get what I mean?
Influencing.
You get what
you
I
know what I
mean?
mean? Like
Thank you. you, Melissa.
But that's
Thank
the whole
you.
purpose of having people do it on camera, having former presidents do it on camera. That's the whole purpose, to make people say, well, if, I believe whatever they believe.
Right.
If they say it's okay, I'm going to go for it. So that's
and it
what
does. It puts the healthcare worker at ease as well when you think about it, because they're knowing that we can finally get to a point where some of that heavy work will be taken away from them, right? And they can still eventually be safe getting home to their family, because they're on the front line every day for us.
You guys, at the end of the day, we tell everyone should wear a mask, but there are still people in the world that are not going to wear a mask. I feel like if you're going to get the vaccine, you're going to get it. I just feel like the video is not, for me, just making you move any closer to wanting to get it. But anyway, while we're on the topic of vaccines, the stock market opened on Monday with solid gains as the first approved coronavirus vaccinations were administered in the U.S., The Hill is reporting. The Dow Jones Industrial Average opened with a gain of more than 200 points, rising roughly 0.8%. The S&P 500 index rose 0.5% and NASDAQ rose 1.1%. Monday's solid open came shortly after the first Americans received that coronavirus vaccination that you guys saw outside of clinical trials. The rapid development of a highly effective vaccine for COVID-19 is expected to curb the length of the pandemic and allow for quicker economic recovery from its onset. I was reading, since we're on the topic, that 20 million people could be vaccinated in December. Of course, we said that healthcare workers and people that work in nursing homes will be top priority. Brooke, you were saying, what number were you for the soulmates that weren't watching?
Yeah, it's like 131 million.
Yeah, but they do say that 20 million people could be vaccinated in December, which is really, really good.
What I get from that story is that I messed up by not buying stock in Pfizer and Moderna.
You were able to do it, yeah?
I didn't. I bought stock in something completely different, as it relates to the medical.
Yeah.
But maybe that's a good thing, because right now, at this point, investors overall are just waiting for a coronavirus relief bill to pass, because that's what they hope, that paired with the vaccine, is going to completely stimulate the economy.
Absolutely.
And things will be looking up across the board.
Yeah.
So maybe you're good. I think you're good.
Crossing fingers. Well, another lady that is good where she is Keisha Lance Bottoms. She turned down the chance to serve in President-elect Joe Biden's cabinet, one of the Atlanta mayor's advisors said on Saturday. The statement from Rashad Taylor confirmed reports from Friday that Bottoms did not accept an offer from Biden. However, it was unclear which cabinet position she turned down. Mayor Keisha Lance Bottoms was honored to have been offered a role in the cabinet, which she respectfully declined, Taylor told the Atlanta Journal-Constitution in a statement on Saturday. The mayor's focus remains on the people of Atlanta and the great state of Georgia. Out of respect for the process and the other candidates under consideration, no additional comment will be forthcoming on this matter at this time. Now, there has been a ton of speculation as to which cabinet position she was offered. You might know that, you all also might remember that she was also, one of the names that was tossed around in terms of vice presidential candidate. She was also, her name was thrown in there for HUD as well. But word on the street is that she was offered the ambassadorship to the Bahamas, which is what she turned down. Or also the Small Business Administration.
All of the people that I know that live in Atlanta, work in Atlanta, from celebrities to politics, they love Atlanta. And they just love Atlanta. Like, Atlanta's like its own country. And so while it's shocking that she would turn down working in Joe Biden's administration, I also think that she has something up her sleeve. Like,
I agree with
she's
that.
not done. There's something else. There's something else. But also the people that live in Atlanta, they literally love Atlanta. Like,
yeah. I mean, she's a rising star in the Democratic Party, and
that part.
Staying and leading the city of Atlanta, it doesn't hurt that it at all.
No.
Yeah,
not one bit.
And she was also facing a lot of criticism from Republicans because she was openly critical about how Governor Kemp has basically just kind of led the state.
Right.
And so I think that it's a really smart idea for her to stay put and just kind of like flourish in the position that she has.
We don't want that to be another seat that we have to try and fill and hope that it would be with another black person.
Ooh, great point, Romeo.
Think about
That's
that.
a great point, actually.
All right, let's stay on the topic of what's going on in Georgia, because more than 1 million voters there have requested mail-in ballots for the upcoming Senate runoffs. Turnout is expected to explode as the election is just weeks away. The Wall Street Journal is actually reporting voters have requested around 1.2 million mail-in ballots. And that's not all, because voters have already filled out and returned another 200,000. These numbers clearly suggest voters are eager to participate in the runoff contest, although runoffs have historically seen lower levels of turnout. January 5th is Election Day, and Democrats John Ossoff and Reverend Raphael Warnock are hoping to unseat two sitting GOP senators, Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue. The hope is high, as they all just saw their state go blue for President-elect Joe Biden last month. Biden's win in the state was a notable victory for Democrats who haven't won the state since 1992. And, overall, this is an incredibly important vote, as unseating Perdue and Loeffler would swing the balance of the U.S. Senate in favor of Democrats just in time for the incoming Biden administration. Early voting started today, so you are able to mask up and go cast your ballot in person if you'd like. What's going on there, though, is things look a lot different right now than they did during the general election. In Cobb County, the early voting sites have been slashed in half, from 11 in November, just a month ago, to 5 right now. And voting rights advocates, civil rights advocates are saying, hey, this is going to disproportionately affect Black voters. So people are worried about that. There are going to be lines. We saw it when it was double. And Ossoff and Warnock won Cobb County.
Yeah. Well, this
in the general.
Yeah. No, this election is going to come down to, again, Black women, because Black women, were polled. 495 Black women were polled. 87% said that they would be voting, and that percentage is even higher in Black women who are over the age of 50. 95% of them said that they will be voting in this election. So come hell or high water, those women are going to be standing in line,
Absolutely.
and they are going to be the deciding vote as to if it's going to be Warnock and Ossoff, exactly, or Perdue and Loeffler.
So Stacey Abrams actually added that 85,000 of the mail-in ballots that were submitted were applications for those who didn't run in November. That's amazing to know. And this was actually for the presidential election. This was actually my first time doing a mail-in ballot. So mail-in ballots are important, and I'm just really happy that we are getting out there. And like Melissa likes to say, let the record show that it was a Black woman. I'm happy.
Facts right there.
Still Melissa's live.
At the end of the day, look, we saw what happened during the election. I think Black people are excited about what we can do and the changes we can make happen. And I think they're going to show up once again. But if you can't beat us, that's why they try to shut down the polls. Let's cut it in half, but we still got to show up in those long lines and make sure we vote.